It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Cowboys and the Saints, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
Well, folks, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the Hop and French Quarter at the Caesars Superdome.
Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Aikman looking to throw, and that's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Now it's Aikman. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll run with Smith. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line. But I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
They go play action with Aikman. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And the defense loses him. It's complete. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive. That came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Aikman will throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Martin. And down inside the 15 he goes. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Chance is good. He's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in his opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. A handoff to Smith. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. That time a 9-play drive. And it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a couple yards deep. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys.
But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
Point after here coming up. And it's good to make it 14-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, called it the 21.
And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
They'll run on first down. It's Thomas, and he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Working from the gun, it's Brees. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Brees to throw. And Thomas has it. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Their opening drive here is going to result in a punt. They got 7 yards there, but not enough. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath. Maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Now Aikman. This complete to Martin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here's Aikman setting to throw it. He finds Smith out of the backfield.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
A first down carry for Smith. Gets past one man, and he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
He was tackled at the 27-yard line.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Now Aikman on first down. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll make it second down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. Here's a give to Smith. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. To throw is Aikman. He finds his man, complete. That's Harper. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on 3rd down. Here's another conversion. And now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it 1st and goal.
Now back to throw. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. A great play there. There to make the grab. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this 1st half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league. But this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the 1st half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On 1st down, Brees. And he's got Shockey. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Play action. Brees. Going up top. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And attempted a deep ball there, and they didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. On 2nd and 10, Brees. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Brees. Over the middle, he finds Henderson, complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. They'll throw on 1st down with Aikman. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On the draw, this is Smith. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 47 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
Aikman on 3rd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On 1st and 10, it's Aikman. It's caught, Smith. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 2 minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this 1st half of action. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
A chance to really cap off a big 1st half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Here we go now with Smith. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It's a gain of a couple and second and goal. We know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times. And
he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Cowboys are able to add on to their first half lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Extra point right down the middle, and the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
Brees now on first down. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that's caught inside the 30. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Brees. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Second down and 3. Brees now. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Throwing now is Brees. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. There to make the grab. And the Saints get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row, we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. They're going to look to throw.
And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Second and 10, Aikman again. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since.
Now Aikman looking to throw.
And that will be incomplete as well.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started as they go to work with 12 seconds on the clock.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. First, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Cowboys. And they've had plenty of success throwing the football so far this afternoon, as they're on pace to throw for over 300 yards if their form holds. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they weren't quite as successful throwing the ball as their counterparts were, but they still were able to move the ball reasonably well in that first half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Saints set to go here to begin the third quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Now Brees. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Brees. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 34.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They run with Thomas. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Thomas, and he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
On 1st down, Thomas. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Thomas. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Now they'll throw with Brees. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A gain of 6 there on first. A 6-yard pickup.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Working with a 2nd and 4. Brees now to throw. Toward the sideline, and he will have the 1st down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They'll run on first down. It's Thomas, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's Brees. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much and you try too hard and you don't get this score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will be cut down to 14. A 10-play drive that time. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Taken at the goal line.
Let's go! Let's go!
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the 2nd half.
And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead. It's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
First down, here's Aikman. He's going to let this one go deep.
And it's nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10.
He's going to let it go again. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
From the gun on 3rd down is Aikman. And this one is incomplete.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter, standing right on his own 5-yard line. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try to cut down the length of the drive.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. This is Thomas. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. Thomas, and they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw, it's Brees. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. To the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. On 1st down, it's Thomas, and he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Good yardage there on 1st down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now Brees. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 20-yard line.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Into the red zone, it's Brees. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack.
Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Brees. He'll find Henderson there. It's complete. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
On 3rd down, Thomas. And he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. 54 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. On the ground, it's Thomas. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. There to make the grab. And the Saints have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This taken in at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Dallas offense set for this next drive. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Aikman will throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Second and 10. Now Aikman. He finds his man, complete. That's Harper. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. They'll try to run forward with Smith. And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the carry, here's Smith. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. So they come up on second down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And this is going to be a Cowboys first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they will take a knee here. Here's Smith as he'll try to run some clock. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. Well, now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.